using the fit ball and the Tye4. Seated exercises on the fit ball. We're going to start with the hands just resting on the ball for stability. We're going to start in a parallel stance. So we're going to slide the right foot out on the floor and we're going to lift it just a little bit. It doesn't have to go very high. And then we're going to slide it back in. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Sliding the left foot out, lifting it up in that parallel, sitting as tall as you can, draw it back in. We're going to do one more on each leg. Establishing your balance, chest is open, leg lifts. Beautiful. And then drawing it back in. And last one. Beautiful, lifting up. And we're going to take those arms and let's just reach them out to the side walls. Just using that resistance of the Tye4. Let's start with that right leg gliding out, parallel, lifting with the quad, beautiful, and then slowly drawing it in. And then the same thing on the left. Now, I have my daughter doing this exercise because it's a really challenging balance. And I didn't want to videotape myself falling off the ball and drawing the leg back in again. We'll do one more of each. Keeping those legs parallel, gliding that right foot out, lifting with the front of the thigh, excellent, and bringing it back in. And one last one. Gliding it out. Good, nice with the arm stabilizing and bringing it back in. We're going to reach down and grab a hold of those leg bungees and we're going to triangulate the bungee and reach the arms to the side. We're going to do the exact same exercises, gliding that right foot out and beautiful lifting, nice, and bring it back in. Going to do the same thing on the left, try to keep the legs a little more parallel. Yes, thank you. And bringing it back down. We'll do one more on each side. So we're in a parallel stance. The kneecap is pointing straight ahead. Good, hips are squared to the camera. And then bring it back in. Last one. Now, we're going to do everything we just did in lateral rotation. We'll start with the arms down to the ball. And we're going to glide the right foot out. So for my ballet dancers, point the foot and lift the leg just a touch and then glide it back on the floor. So you're doing a tendu. So we tendu the left leg, we dégagé, lift. Beautiful in that lateral rotation. And then we bring it back in. One more on each. So just kind of, so when the hands are down, we're just trying to get that established balance through the pelvis and gliding it in. And the bungees really aren't doing a whole lot here, right? This would be as if you were not using a Tye4. Now I'm going to use that Tye4 arms open out into second position, and I'm going to glide that leg out. And then point it and lift with the inseam. Beautiful, nice on the lift, Chris. And then bring it back in. Same thing on the left. Gliding the foot out and floating it up. And then bringing it back in. One more on each foot. And belly tight and lift. And now your belly has to be tight because if it isn't, you fall off the ball. So I know Kristen is engaging her core. And lift. Beautiful, and bring it in. Going to reach for those leg bungees, going to reach on the outside of my knee, so I'm establishing lateral rotation, and I'm going to glide that right foot out again. Going to lift with that inseam, and then I'm going to glide it back down. Beautiful, activating those arms, chest is open, sitting tall on that fit ball. And we're just going to take one more on each side. Shoulders look really good here. And bringing it back in. And last one. Now, Chris, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Which position of the arms made it the easiest?
Outward was good. I would say that holding this was just being a little bit more stable, feeling like I was more in tune with being able to use it as a stabilizer and balance myself. I felt like I was using these parts.
Right. So when you pulled on those leg bungees, you had a lot more stability.
A lot more.
Now, what's the difference between parallel and turned out?
I would say turned out felt more stable as well. I'd say parallel was a little bit more wobbles.
Right.
Holding
Okay.
this position made me feel like I could extend my arm, I could extend my leg and not topple over. That's just my feelings though.
Okay, well, that's good feedback, though. Okay, so using a physio ball or a fit ball, using the Tye4 for balance and for core stability. And hopefully this will give you some exercises to do with your fit ball and your Tye4.